Hey guys, and skateboarding here. This is going to be a different format of video today. It doesn't mean that I'm going to slow down on dropping clips and parts with me and the team. That's still coming, you just stay tuned. Today I'll be giving my discourse on a general group of individual in skate culture known as old heads. Now, of course, in skate culture, it's predominantly teens to young adults, but usually if you look close enough, you can see old heads in about every park you go to. You got your blue park old heads, usually just some white hipster with mad tattoos and a tendency to take his fucking shirt off and show his dad bod. Or you could catch him at Borough Hall, doing slappies and drinking an almost unhealthy amount of alcohol. Now, what makes an old head an old head? This is where it gets interesting because although an old head is usually more of a way of thinking, most of the people that think like this pretty much are just fucking old. I'm just gonna do a generalization and say if your birth date begins with a 19 and not a 20, I'm talking about you. Niggas really be born in the 19th century. It's gonna be me. Y'all niggas cooked. Now, with being older and having more experience in the world, you'd think that having an old head around you whilst you skate would be a great experience, right? Well, fucking wrong. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't cool old heads out there, but I'm just gonna go through a few old head archetypes that you have definitely seen or know someone with. Now, for this type of old head, it usually doesn't fucking matter where you go, you will run into them. Usually at your local or some shit while you're sitting down or sparking a conversation. Now, you think the conversation is going great until the old fart starts bringing up conspiracies and genuinely throwing you the fuck off. Like, I just came here to fucking skate. Why the fuck are you trying to convince me that 9/11 was CGI? Like, my nigga, you were old enough to fucking experience that shit. And we live in New York, where it fucking happened. How are you going to deny the events when you are in the very city it took place? Like, you're calling everyone around you a sheep, but you're the same nigga saying how Obama is a fucking lizard person or that Hello Kitty and fidget spinners are satanic. Like, how fucking stupid can you be? By the time the conversation goes off the fucking rails with the pseudo-intellectual crap, you've probably already just tried changing the subject or getting up to go skate again. But that doesn't change the fact that you start to realize you shouldn't have fucking said anything to them. Ah yes, the anti-woke old head. This type of old head is similar to the last one we discussed. Shit, it might even be the same fucking person that told you all that shit before. But this old head is the type to complain about skating and its new generation of pros and trends amongst young people. And what I mean by that is that they just straight up just hate fucking transgenders, like there's no other way to put it. They claim to not care about trans people and their existence, but watch and hate on their every fucking move, arguing about which pro deserves to even be called pro and get their own shoe, etc. The world is getting hotter every summer. Kids are dying from gun violence at fucking school, and you're worried about girls with dicks. How far are you up your own ass that whatever someone else is comfortable identifying with bothers you? And hey, there's some pretty good trans skaters out there, I can't even lie. Transcender is pretty sick. You got Kane, I don't know their fucking name. Efron is a shit. She's fucking tough. If you got beef with Efron, you got beef with me. Like, who the fuck could hate Efron? I get that skating has changed and being pro may not be as much about skill and more about marketing, but don't point the finger at trans and gay people. If you want to hate on someone, hate on Assface right here. She's the worst.
Yeah, this guy sucks.
Like, these old heads will really sit here and try to convince you that the LGBT community is planning on corrupting and grooming impressionable children. And they say this all while rolling up and smoking with teenagers. Like, do you not see the irony here? But yeah, nigga, tell me more on how a fucking army of gay niggas and G-strings are gonna plague my child's mind. Shit, if it makes my son good at skating, sign that nigga right the fuck up, I say. This type of old head is the most dangerous to encounter no matter your age range. They're really common to the trendy and try-hard parks like Tompkins or LES, but usually if you are a young teen, it could be the most fatal, as this old head specifically preys on teenagers. Not in the way you think. The snake fighter old head is usually characterized by bullying kids that may snake them whilst they're trying to skate an obstacle. The problem is that while kids and sometimes even adults may accidentally snake you once or twice, it doesn't warrant the bullying and threatening being done by this grown-ass man. Like, you are trying to fight someone who is 10 years younger than you. In what situation could you ever be looked at as the good guy? Now, this doesn't mean that this bullying is limited to teenagers. They may target dudes their own age.
Sometimes it may not even be about snaking, but that doesn't excuse starting a fucking fight in a skate park. Like, the only time I want to see a nigga fight is when someone who is actually a piece of shit gets what they deserve. At your grown age, what the fuck could be a justifiable reason to start a fight at a fucking skate park? In front of children at that.
You didn't invite me to your birthday.
Oh,
No,
shit. Oh my God.
I'm so dead. I'm so
Oh
dead.
my
You didn't
God.
invite me.
No, this is crazy.
I'm
This is
serious.
too
You didn't invite
crazy.
me,
I
man.
didn't
need to. No,
Kick his ass.
You missed.
Kick
You
his
missed.
ass.
I don't give a
Get
fuck
him.
about that shit.
Kick
I don't
his
give a fuck
ass.
about that shit. Get
Kick
the
his
fuck over
ass.
here. Get over here.
Get him on
Give me that
Supreme.
board. Give me that board.
Oh my
Shut
God,
the
he's
fuck
taking
up.
his board.
Give me that board.
Oh my God, he's taking his
what are you
board.
doing?
This nigga wallin'.
There should be no reason that two adults don't have the decorum to settle things without violence. Don't tell me you stabbed and jumped a 13-year-old just so you could do this bullshit. Some of you niggas need to find a new hobby. I don't know, start a garden or some shit. This old head is more neutral and is actually fucking cool to be around. His skill level is probably up there with pros, and it really leaves you wondering on how he isn't at least sponsored or anything. Most of the time, this old head is really humble, like to the point where you probably would have thought this nigga was homeless. He doesn't care about the latest trend or what new fucking pants kids are wearing. This guy just wants to fucking skate. Usually in an outfit he looks like he slept in, he whizzes around the park just doing shit with ease. It kind of makes you sad that he has this much talent with zero recognition. You have a conversation with him and there's not that much red flags apart from the fact that he smells like monkey cock. But the more you talk to him too, you also realize that he's just kind of a fucking bum now. Like, he's still your friend or whatever, but he pretty much doesn't have anything going for him.
And we're gonna blow that fucking truck back to Colombia.
Now this old head is arguably one of the best on the list. The sage old head is the one that gives you shreds and hints of wisdom on your journey as a skater and as a person. They might actually be sponsored or pro even, and they genuinely just want to see the newer generation win. The advice they give comes from experience and seniority. You can tell that this old head just wants to see you do the best you possibly can. They can always be found liking your clips, supporting your videos, and being just a pretty chill dude overall. In fact, most of them are the ones you see leaving comments on your video, telling you that it reminds them of themselves back in their younger days, which is never harmful at all. Every old nigga out there should be like this guy. This is probably the only role an elder should play at the skate park, besides a legal guardian. This wasn't supposed to be a video about me shitting on millennials. Although, if you are one and you're hurt by this, I advise you to take this as an opportunity to look inward and reflect. Am I an asshole to kids? Should I stop being a fucking bum? Maybe 9/11 wasn't processed in Blender. All of this is okay, as long as you guys can be better than you were before, and accept that times are changing, and now nobody really cares how things were done before. Soon enough, us 2000s kids will all be full-fledged adults, and it will be our turn to be the old heads. Let's just hope we don't make the same mistakes as them. I'm Skateboarding, and I hope you hated this video.